Hi everyone, it's Kerchi. For this Polly Pocket showcase, I will be showcasing the brand new Starlight Castle Polly Pocket from the Keepsake collection. That's right, it's a reboot of the original Starlight Castle from 1992. The Keepsake collection also seems to be Mattel's attempt at rebooting Polly Pockets without having to reboot the entire line, but I'm still hoping they just reboot the 90s ones altogether so that we don't have to pay ridiculous eBay prices for them. And the more Polly Pockets I have, the happier I am. Oh my goodness, look how cute this is. The packaging is absolutely adorable. They have the signature teal color with the white hearts. And look at this cute Polly graphic. And here is the prince. He is so adorable. And just look at all of these cute little graphics. We have that rainbow, sparkles, heart windows. So cute. We also have sparkles on the clear section of this plastic and the Polly Pocket logo with the Keepsake Collection sub-logo. So far this has been the second Keepsake Collection set that Mattel released, the first one being Birthday Surprise, which I showcased on my channel a while ago. And this is definitely packaging that I am going to keep. And in fact, I am going to keep this displayed inside the box because it just looks so beautiful in the packaging. This packaging has been well thought out for display purposes. Here is the back. We can see the top of the compact. I'm gonna turn it upside down so we can see the logo upright. Here it is, so gorgeous. And I love how the sparkles kind of cascade over the compact. Again, more beautiful graphics all around the packaging. Here's Princess Polly again, more cute graphics. And on the side we can see the pony compact. I also showcased these a while back, so go ahead and visit my channel if you want to watch it. And more cute little graphics. Then on the other side we have a graphic of the horse that we see in this compact and more cute designs. I'm going to unbox this very carefully because I actually want to keep the packaging. Normally I just tear the box open. Here it is, partially unboxed. I love this platform that they put it on. They really do mean for you to display this in the packaging. It looks like I'm holding a cake. On the packaging, there's also this little call out to the 1992 Starlight Castle. It says, recreation of the 1992 best-selling compact. So I guess Starlight Castle was the best-selling compact back in 1992. We also have this instructions booklet. It shows us all the functionality and it does light up. I'm going to slowly cut the tape out. And again, I don't want to ruin anything. It's like performing surgery. Now I'm gonna lift the compact out of the plastic. For those of you who want to keep this in the packaging, do not pull this out because this is glued on there and you want to preserve it. What you want to do is just lift this out of the plastic as soon as you get all the tape off. It's actually kind of difficult and I'm scared because I don't want to ruin the packaging. You can tell that I really care about my Polly Pocket packaging compared to other showcases I've done, at least with the Keepsake collection, because with the newer Polly Pockets, I'm not as gentle. Whew, I did it. And there you go. She has been birthed. And here is the beautiful Keepsake Collection Starlight Castle. This one comes in a purple compact with specks of glitter. We have the Polly Pocket logo in silver, accompanied by the Keepsake Collection sub-logo. I definitely want to preserve this logo and make sure it never gets ruined, because if I do create my logo stickers, like I did for the vintage ones, this is going to be pretty tough to vector. Just like the Birthday Surprise Keepsake Collection, this one has glitter, but this one is fully sealed in, so it looks like it's part of the plastic. And with the Birthday Surprise one, the glitter was coming off a little bit, so I had to reinforce it with Mod Podge. But with this one, there is no need to do that, so that is an improvement. Then on the back, we have the manufacturing info, and this is the battery compartment, so I'm gonna unscrew this and put some batteries in. The light is very faint, and after I go through the showcase, I'm gonna dim my lights a little bit so we can see the backlighting there. But yes, the lights do work just like in the original one. I could have sworn the light momentarily turned off. You can turn it back on again with this button. I think it might be on a timer, so I'm gonna test that theory. So it turned off after about a minute. I'm not sure if that's intentional. It is intentional. The instructions said that the lights automatically turn off to preserve battery life. Honestly, that is a little disappointing because for me, I would love to be able to display this with the lights on. And if the batteries die, it's very easy to replace it. So I'm not sure why they chose to have it automatically shut off, and the lights seem weak enough that it's not going to drain the battery that fast. I also have some original Polly Pocket sets that stay lit up for a pretty long time, but maybe this is just a weaker structure, which is kind of the thing now with modern toys. Well, now I am going to go through the entire compact and I'm going to compare it to the original Starlight Castle as I go along. Here they are side by side, so this one is the original Starlight Castle from 1992. They're pretty similar in size, and I know it looks like they're exact in size, but not quite. This one is thicker and a little bit bigger, and the shape of this heart seems to be more plump, more round. One giveaway is the corner of the heart here. This one is more smooth and this one is more cornered. And here is the thickness. Again, the difference is very subtle, but the purple one is thicker than the original. There's an obvious difference in the logo, and on the back we can see that this one has a lot more information and the original just has the Bluebird logo and some minor information. I do like how it's easier to access the battery compartment in this one. I do miss seeing that Bluebird logo though. And here is the interior. Very obvious difference in the castle. This one is more vibrant. They went for a very bright pink tone, pink and purple, my favorite color combination, and gold roof, gold doors. And with the original one, it's more pastel. There is also a scuff on the heart. We are missing some purple paint over there. That can easily be fixed though. I just wish that they were more careful with the manufacturing. There's also a lot more detail in the grass. We see some bushes and plants. And in the new one, it is just white. It looks like maybe they're on a cloud. That could make sense. I could buy that storyline. In the original, the castle also opens up very easily. There actually isn't a latch to keep it closed, so this one flaps around quite a bit. And with the new one, there is a pretty strong latch on here, so this is gonna be a little tough to open. There we go. And here is the comparison of the inside of the castle. Again, this one is super bright pink. I would absolutely love to live here. This one is more muted, more pastel. I like the gold here better than here. Here you can see the gold looks more bronze. It looks almost like fake gold. And here it looks more realistic, classy, regal. In the trapdoor, we have a unicorn. And in the trapdoor here, we have a suit of armor. They definitely made this one a lot more girly. I do love unicorns. Everything else is pretty much the same other than the coloration and some slight texture differences, but overall they have managed to keep everything the same, all the furniture. Same thing here in the bedroom, in the kitchen. I just noticed in the original they painted the back of the door, and in the reboot they did not. Things like that really make you appreciate the vintage ones because they really went through every little detail to make sure that it looks as best as possible. And in the trapdoor here, there is just space for the characters. Now for the bottom portion. The stairs are different. Again, this one has the very vibrant pink for the staircase. This one is that very light blue and very faint lavender. Same amount of detailing. We get each individual stones on the steps. Same thing here. I would just say that the detail here looks more obvious because the imprint is deeper, if that makes any sense. Deeper imprint, more shallow imprint. I do like the additional detail we see here. There's hearts and stars on the ground, and in the original it's blank. I also love the lavender color, so they're pretty similar in that sense. The pond is also very similar shape. Here is the shape of the original. The gazebo is different, so this one is a heart-shaped gazebo, and this one is round, and it does look more realistic. If I was poly-sized, I could fit right in there. And with this one, it's a very short gazebo, so I don't think the characters can fit in there. Then we have the croquet area. Same thing, we have a bench, a couple mallets. Just like in the original, the only difference being the mallets are in different places. While they do have the same amount of detail, the vintage one looks like it has more detail because the mold is raised a bit more. I'm not sure how to show that on camera, but here you can see the stones are more flat, for instance. The little croquet balls are also more flat, and in the original one they are more raised, so they cast a bigger shadow, which gives the illusion of being more realistic, having more detail. Our switch here is also heart-shaped, which I think is super cute. Since the lights automatically turn off, if you want to turn them on again, you just press this. So you press that once, and when you close the compact, it does press this button to ensure that the lights turn off. And in the original, it's a lever, and you can't turn the lights off and on manually, so the lights turn off automatically when you close the compact, just like with the new one. But I really love how the lights don't automatically turn off here because I would really love to keep the lights on as long as possible. And then we have these two little light columns. I think these are pretty because I love hearts. I love how girly they look. And in the original, they went for a more realistic structure. These are lights I could actually see in real life. So those are the similarities and differences. The biggest difference, other than the color of this one being more vibrant, is the original polys went for more realistic designs, and the new ones have a more playful, unrealistic fantasy type of design. I honestly love both of them, which is why I highly encourage Mattel to do more of these keepsake ones, because this caters to the nostalgic bunch like myself, but also invites new Polly Pocket fans. The other difference is the vintage set is more stable when you lay it flat like this, and the new one tends to tilt back slightly. I had the same issue with the birthday surprise reboot. If I try to tip them over, this one falls a lot easier than this one. Now for the characters, I'm gonna let you guys guess which one is the vintage Polly and which one is the new Polly. If you guessed this one being the vintage one, you are absolutely correct. There is definitely a difference in quality here. I did restore the vintage one. I gave her a repaint and a nice coat of glossy varnish, but the plastic itself is different in the new one. The new one feels like it has a very light, cheaper plastic. Maybe it's more hollow on the inside. Even before the glossy varnish, the original Polly was already shiny, but the new Polly is matte. The faces are also different. The original Polly has a more delicate face. The new Polly has stronger features. She also looks a lot closer to the face repaints that I did in the past. And obviously I like the original more. The new Polly is also a bit whiter, her head is bigger. On the back they look pretty similar though. Here is the bottom. In the original Polly we have the year on the bottom, which is 1992, and in the new one we get a little hole, which leads me to believe that inside of the new Polly it's hollow. But I also wonder if they intend to have her fit on those pegs that the new Polly Pockets have. I'm curious, so I'm gonna try it out. Here I have this cute elephant, modern Polly Pocket, and I'm gonna stick her in one of these pegs. She actually fits in there. I'm not sure if that's intentional, but this is an added bonus for me. I find this really cool. She can integrate with the new Polly Pockets. The ones with pegs anyway, not the Polly Stick ones. There's actually some resistance there. It's not loose, which further leads me to believe that they did this on purpose. So now, new Polly can meet vintage Polly. Vintage reboot Polly, I should say. The characters fit very nicely in their little spots. The vintage characters, however, do not fit. The holes are too big, their feet are too small, and vice versa. The new ones will not fit in the vintage ones. I wonder why they changed the sizes. And just for fun, I'm gonna put the new Polly in the vintage set. That is a sight I never thought I'd see. She's a little big, but she's happy. And here is Prince Charming. Again, better quality on the plastic and manufacturing of the original. The new one feels like it's made of cheaper plastic. I do love how they gave the new prince a crown. I think that looks super cute. I'm actually not sure why the original prince didn't have a crown to begin with. They managed to give the new prince the same face as the original one. They were able to do it with a prince, but not with Polly. That's a little confusing to me. Their faces are pretty identical. We do see a little bit less detail on the outfit of the new prince. The vintage prince has a gold belt and the new prince does not. On the back, a couple more details have been lost on the new prince. The vintage one has a belt and gloves painted on, and the new prince doesn't have any painted details on the back other than his collar. The new prince has that same hole for the peg. This one is more square, so I'm guessing he'll have more resistance when we put him on the pegs. Again, I have to try it because I have a curious mind. He definitely has lots of resistance. I actually like it. I think it keeps him more stable, and I wish Polly had the same square-shaped hole. Is it still a hole if it's square-shaped? What do you call a square-shaped hole? Here is the swan. This isn't really a fair comparison because I did repaint this to add more detail to it, so this is the vintage one. I'm eventually going to do the same to the new one, but we can see some slight size differences. The bottom part is thicker, but overall they look pretty close. Here is the horse. Big difference. The vintage one being a more realistic horse, one that you would actually see pull a carriage. This one also has that tuft up there. And the new one is a unicorn. I love unicorns, but they definitely could have added more detail to this one. Maybe paint the horn at least. I did repaint this, so again, it's kind of an unfair comparison. The main difference we can see is the vintage one went for a more realistic horse, and the new one went the fantasy route. Here is the carriage. Overall the same, the only difference being the color of gold that they used. I repainted this one, but I followed the original gold color pretty closely, and this one has a very bright orange-ish looking gold. And here are the lights, and they actually are brighter in person. It's just very hard to capture on camera. The stars are definitely lit up in person, and I'm not sure if my camera is haunted, but it is not capturing the light. Trust me when I say it's definitely lit up. We can kind of see it. Same with the vintage one, we can kind of see it. So in terms of brightness, they're about the same. Really disappointing my camera is not capturing this because it definitely lights up. It's not the brightest light that I've seen in a Polly Pocket set. My phone actually captures it better, so here they are lit up. They look so pretty. My only disappointment is with the new one, the lights automatically turn off. And that was the Starlight Castle Keepsake collection, available on Amazon. A huge thank you to those who messaged me on Instagram to let me know these existed, and who let me know when it became available on Amazon, because I am such a horrible collector that I don't keep up with these things. Personally, I love it, and I think this might be as good as we're gonna get in terms of getting close to the vintage ones. Props to Mattel for even doing this in the first place. I think they really do care about us nostalgic folks. I think it's pretty, it displays very nicely. I love the integration with the pegs that the new Polly Pockets have. That is a huge plus for me. And I really hope with all my heart that Mattel keeps coming out with these, because I love them, we all love them, and Polly will always have a special place in our hearts. Thank you for watching this Polly Pocket showcase, and I'll see you on the next one.